guys, it's Meg, and it's that time of the week again where we get to look dead ahead to see what's coming on next week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This week we're talking about the season finale, episode 106. Are you guys excited for this? Because I'm super excited for this episode. This episode is called The Good Man, which is very interesting to me because we've seen just how bad Daniel really is. And I think he believes that he is not a good man. And he's said multiple times in the past episodes about how good men die first. So it'll be very interesting to see why they chose this name for the season finale. Now, this preview starts out with Daniel in the interrogation room with Adams the soldier, and he has said that I have found the place he spoke of. I think he has given us all he can. Now, he has a gun in his hand, and it appears, or they're making it appear, that now that he's got the information he needs from Adams, he's going to kill him and just be done with it. Obviously, they don't want him to fight back, get revenge for the torture he received. This is probably pretty commonplace that once you've gotten the information you need from a prisoner, that you just put them down. And that may be where he's heading with this. Now, we do see Madison and Travis in the background looking uncomfortable, and I have a feeling that probably Travis more so than Madison is going to try and reason with him and say that, there's no need to kill him. Maybe this soldier can help us. I kind of like this guy. I'd actually like to see him stick around for a little bit. Our group would do well having a soldier on their team. He seems like a pretty good guy that's just in the wrong circumstance at this point. So I would kind of like to see him stick around for a bit, if nothing else than to give us more characters to eventually kill off. We know that with a series like this, like The Walking Dead, we have to have a lot of characters. When we first saw the RV crew with Dale and Andrea's sister, and there were so many people there, and quite a few of them were killed off in that Walker attack when they were up camping in the woods. And that made for a good episode. We had a lot of these characters that we knew a little bit about, or there were, just extra characters around. And it makes it easier for them to make meaningful deaths for these characters that we like, but that aren't maybe super necessary to keep on the show. The next clip we see is of the rattling doors at this arena that Adams told Daniel about. Now, there are 2,000 freshly infected walkers behind these doors trying to get out. We know at the end of the last episode, episode 105, that Daniel went up to the arena and he was surprised that he heard all of the walkers and the groanings and growling and that kind of thing. So they're probably just giving us a glimpse of this because he's then going to hear it and turn around. I don't think these walkers are going to get out. I think it is just inserted into this promo to freak us out a little bit because 2,000 walkers on the loose is pretty scary. The scene moves right along into Travis in the kitchen with Alicia. He says it's not safe for us to stay, and it appears that he is packing up some canned goods. Now, I don't think that the whole family is going to go and try and get Chris and Liza and Griselda. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think that as we move through this promo, we see that Travis and Daniel are going to go on their own out to find them. Now, we know that this place is only 2 miles away, set up in a college, so it's very close by. The next scene here we see is of Chris asking Travis. Now, it looks like they're in the garage right next to their car, or something like that maybe. I'm not sure exactly where this is, but I think that they're in the garage or a garage. And Chris is saying to Travis, don't leave me here. So it sounds like Travis's plan is to leave Chris behind. Otherwise, Chris wouldn't be begging to go with him. And perhaps go and rescue the group, bring them back so that they can leave the fenced area. He also doesn't probably want a lot of people dragging him down since time is a priority here, knowing that at 0900 hours, something bad is going to happen. They're going to initiate termination of these people. We then see the doctor speaking over the radio about transportation. We know that they are evacuating the entire compound. At least that's what they think is happening. Now, it seems that transportation is a go. She gets an estimated arrival time, and then she goes back to the people and says, we're getting ready to move, guys. Come on. basically like round everybody up. Then we get a flash to Liza looking outside of the doors. She's looking up at a helicopter with spotlights, and it immediately flashes to another clip of Liza talking to the doctor saying, "You promised me Christopher." Now, there's a whole entire separate promo, which we will also go over in this video, about Liza and wanting her family to be also evacuated, and the doctor, I think, pretty much making empty promises here. But we'll talk more about that as soon as we finish touching on this promo. Then we see Daniel in the room that Ophelia was staying in, and Ophelia's packing her stuff. Daniel says, "I need your help." Now, I'm assuming Ophelia probably hasn't gotten over what she saw her father doing yet. It hasn't been very long at all. It's probably the same amount of time. He is probably going to try and reconcile with her, and I don't know how quickly she's going to get over this. I mean, her entire view of her father is now completely changed. Obviously, he is not the man that she thought he was. Now, by him asking her for help again, I think that she will do it because she seems loyal to her family, and despite what her dad has done, I still think that she will stick by him no matter what. I'm so excited for these next scenes with Nick and the suit guy from the quarantine area. I really am interested to see what this guy is all about. What is his plan? We see him telling Nick that he says it's time to go, and Nick says, "Where are we going?" And I'm interested in this because I feel like this guy is not only on a mission to get out of this place, but he's on a mission to get something else. And I think that's why he needs Nick. Now, I'm not sure if he's just using Nick as, someone to do his dirty work, that, he may be sending him to go do something that is very dangerous that he wouldn't want to do himself. I'm not sure that he's looking out for Nick's best interests at this point. Definitely just what he needs. He is definitely the type of guy who knows how to get what he wants. And I am actually not sure at this point if Nick will reunite with his family by the end of this episode. Now, I think that this season finale is going to have some kind of big cliffhanger in order to keep us interested until season 2. Now, of course, I will be watching no matter what, but there's a lot of people out there who are not super thrilled with this show, and I think this show, they probably know that they have to really hook us and make us really need to know what's going to happen, how this thing ends. So I would not be surprised if Nick and this other guy they go off and do something, and when Travis comes to rescue his Griselda and Liza, I have a feeling that maybe Nick won't be anywhere to be found. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong on that. Let me know what you guys think. What is this guy's plan? So here we are again with Liza, and it looks to be as if her evacuation time has come, and she is faced with the dilemma: does she get on the truck and go to safety without her son, without Travis, because it doesn't appear that they're anywhere to be found. And the next clip we see is of her kind of looking back off into the distance, and I'm assuming it's like, you either get on here and go, or you are fending for yourself and you will not be evacuated at all. And I don't quite frankly know what she's going to choose at this point, because she already chose these people over Chris the first time. And we know that she loves him and cares deeply for him. I have no doubt about that. But she already chose to leave him behind to go and help people. And now I'm wondering, I really don't know what she will choose. I'm hoping that she doesn't get on that truck. And I'm also hoping that she survives the end of this episode in order to tell everyone that they are all infected already. I'm assuming this next scene is of Daniel's rescue mission. I think that Travis is behind him, though there is not a clear shot. The only thing I can see is some brown hair behind his shoulder. If you watch the entire clip and pause it just at the right moment, which I wasn't able to do to get this shot, you can see the brown hair like a tip of a head. I'm assuming that it's Travis. We then get a glimpse of this hallway packed full of infected, and I'm thinking, where are they right now? Now, I thought in the scene with Daniel that he was in the compound, which we know, I believe they said, was in a college, not an old college, just a college that was converted into the command center headquarters and the hospital quarantine, the temporary hospital setup. I thought they said it was an old college. Well, this fits because in this hallway here, it looks like there's cabinets and maybe desks or something, filing cabinets. So I am under the impression that Daniel and Travis and maybe Madison, because we see Madison also in an unfamiliar place that could potentially be the college as well, are all here trying to find Griselda, trying to find Nick. Liza too, I'm assuming. But how did all of these infected get in this hallway? And who are they coming at? I'm really interested to see who is faced with all of them because I think that's probably going to be pretty shocking. I hope that it's Travis, and I hope that Travis is forced to finally kill one of them. I'm wondering if, we saw him in, I can't remember what episode it was, episode 3 maybe, where Daniel was cleaning the gun and showing Chris how to use the gun, the shotgun. And Travis came in and he said, I don't believe in guns, or you know how I feel about guns. I think he said, you know how I feel about guns. Now, then when we see in the last episode Moyers, who was trying to force him to kill this infected, Travis didn't seem to have a problem grabbing onto the gun, but he really was having a hard time, pulling the trigger and being willing to shoot the infected. Now, I'm wondering if maybe there's more backstory to Travis. We don't know much about him. So maybe there is a very specific reason why he doesn't believe in guns. Maybe he had family killed at some point due to a gun. Maybe he had some type of horrific experience with a gun. I don't know, but it does make me wonder because he's been faced with that a couple times now, and I'm just curious, maybe there's some type of backstory we'll learn next season about why he is so hesitant to shoot anyone or to be willing to go there knowing what he is faced with, knowing that these people are not really people. This next scene is pretty interesting because we have Chris and Alicia inside of a car hiding from someone. I'm guessing they're hiding from an infected, but what if they're hiding from someone else? I don't know. It's pretty exciting though. My guess though is that they remained at home, probably with Ophelia watching over them. I get the sense that Ophelia is quite a bit older than they are in this show. I don't know that we've learned exact ages, but we do know that Chris and Alicia are still in high school, and I don't believe Ophelia is in high school anymore. I'm thinking that she is out of school but was still at home. Now, what are they hiding from? Probably an infected person. We don't see Ophelia at this time, but maybe she has not been watching them as well as she should have. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about this? What are they hiding from? Let me know. Then we see a couple shots of the military shooting at either people or infected. Not sure at this point. We do know that there is going to be a huge scene where they either drop a bomb on the hospital or, they do some sort of thing where they're not going to evacuate everyone at the hospital. Now, we see them evacuating Liza, and I think they're probably going to try and get the doctors out of there. The doctors have probably put all of the patients in one specific spot to be picked up, and they're getting on the trucks. And then I feel like once they're all on the trucks, we're going to see something bad happen to these people. Maybe rather than them dropping some sort of bomb on them or napalm or whatever, maybe they're forcing the military to shoot all of them. I feel like that's reaching a little bit. I'm thinking these guys are probably either fighting off some of the infected or some people that are trying to go with them that are not going to be allowed to go. Let me know what you guys think as well about this. Then we quickly see a few flashes of our very last scenes here where we see a hand grabbing a leg, and it turns out that that leg is Madison's. Now, the surrounding scene is that she's not in her house. It looks like she's in some type of business, either a business or she is also in the college as well, which is what we know. The college is the hospital, what I've been calling the hospital, just in case you guys are getting confused. But we see her here, and it looks like they're I feel like maybe that is like a stovetop or something. Maybe she's in another cafeteria in the college or something, and you see up right next to her head is one of those mirror things that people use to see if people are stealing things in stores. I don't know what they're called, but you guys know what I mean. So we know she's definitely not at home. I can't imagine that she would go out somewhere by herself when she's so concerned about Nick and getting Nick back. I feel like she would not be going off on some other mission. She would probably be going with Travis and Daniel, whether they liked it or not. That is it for this promo. Let's move on to the next promo. The second promo opens up with the doctor organizing for the evacuation of the rest of the patients in the hospital. We find out that there are only 20 patients left, 12 of which are in critical condition. The rest stable, all infection free. It seems as if everything is a go. She tells all of the staff that are still there to lock it down. This concerns Liza because it seems like evacuation is imminent, and she is concerned because she still does not have her son Christopher with her. And so she asks the doctor, "What about my son?" And the doctor replies, "I submitted the request, I'll follow up." Which leads, I'm just wondering, is she actually requesting things, or does she know that it's useless at this point? Because she told Daniel that she would put his name on the list in order to let him go with Griselda, and she did not follow through with that, or she was denied that. But she never faced Daniel to tell him that. So I have concerns about whether or not she actually submitted any sort of request for Christopher to be evacuated as well. Liza also says, "And the rest of my family," and the doctor says, Who are we counting as family, blood or bond?" Which, with these blended families begs the question, what do you do when faced with this crazy disaster that's happening and you're forced to choose who to evacuate? You love these people, and these people love other people, and it's just this ongoing, you guys remember that song as a kid where it says, the farmer takes a wife, the wife takes a child, the child takes the dog, and it goes on and on and on. That's what this reminded me of. She says, "My son needs his father." And then the lady, the doctor, replies, "But the father will want his girlfriend. The girlfriend will want her children. What is family now? Be brutal." She says, "I was brutal. And you promised me Christopher." She says, "Just him and his father, Travis." Now, this just very briefly annoyed me because she seems so certain that Travis would just leave behind Madison and her children and immediately, choose Liza and Christopher over them. Now, as being a parent myself, I know I would always choose my child over any other love interest, despite how much I was in love with them. Probably even if I was married, I would still choose my child over anyone else. I mean, that's just the kind of bond you have with your children. So I have no doubt that he would, if faced with the choice, choose Christopher. And I quite frankly I would love to see him faced with making that decision, choosing Madison and her children or choosing Christopher and Liza. I'm not going to lie though, it annoyed me when she seemed so certain that, I want Travis too. It just got to me a little bit because to me, I thought, well, maybe it's just that she wants him back and not necessarily that she's concerned for her son having a father. We don't know how things ended. We don't know who initiated the divorce, so maybe she does still have feelings for him. I don't really want to get into that because I don't really know. I have no idea, the backstory there, or if that's even where this is leading. I will say I would love to see Travis faced with that decision. That being said, we do see in that other promo, Liza being asked to get on the truck with the soldiers, and none of her family is around her. So, I don't know if having to make that decision will ever even be a thing in this show. But like I said, I'd love to see it. That was the end of that promo. So, all in all, I think this season finale is going to be pretty awesome. There's going to be a lot of action, and like I said before, I'm not sure that Nick will rejoin the group in this season. I don't think he's going to die or anything like that. If I had to choose a death prediction, I would say it would be the most interesting if Liza died, and as she was dying, kind of like in The Walking Dead where Jenna whispered to Rick that they were all infected. It would be interesting if as she was dying, she said, everyone has it, or she said, you have to shoot me in the head, we all turn, or something like that. Uh, so, but that's been done before, so I don't know, that might be kind of cheesy as well. But yeah, I mean, if I had to choose someone that I think has the potential for dying, not that I want them to die, but that I has the potential to die, I would say her, just because she holds that secret information there. Or, gosh, I just really don't think anyone else is going to die at this point. I think the major cliffhangers are going to be getting everyone back together. That maybe like Nick or Liza, we won't see them get back together yet. Let me know what your guys' predictions are in the comments below. And I will see you guys with my reaction for this episode 106, the season finale, next week. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.